Hello adventurers! What a year it has been, 2017. This was the year that our game experience was changed forever because we started playing VR games.
Yes, and now 2017 is over, so here's our 15 most favorite VR games of 2017 that has changed our gaming life forever, but in a very, very positive way. So the first game is Lone Echo, the ultimate VR space game. Seriously guys, this is one of our favorite of the favorites. The mechanics in the game are just amazing, which makes the game very immersive, and even though you are floating in space, they still made it so well that you do not get motion sick. The thing that I like the most about Lone Echo are its hand animations. They are very realistic and well done. Something we haven't seen a lot in VR games yet, but also the story in this game is very good and it might even trigger your emotions. Don't tell anyone, but I cried a little. Now here's a co-op VR shooter that is a lot of fun and has, in our opinion, great potential. People have even called it the destiny of VR. We're talking about Gonggong Heart. Gonggong Heart is a co-op shooter where you become a robotic bounty hunter, battling your way through hours of alien-infested worlds to earn money. Use that money to upgrade your character or buy weapons. This game also has a rich looting system where you are able to collect more cosmetics, weapon mods and cash. This game is cool because missions are random and they dynamically adjust to your level as well. You can play this game alone or join a mission with others. What we love about this game is that when you log in, you are beamed straight away into a shared hall with other players.
If you watch our channel, you know that we both adore this game. Fallout 4 VR is one of the biggest launches of this year that everyone was anticipating. This is one of the first full open world RPG game ported entirely to VR. What can I say? Fallout 4 was already Game of the Year, and this VR port? Well, let's just say Cas has spent many hours in it and neglecting me and everyone else in her life. And she is not sorry about that. Now, a game not to be missed if you bought Oculus Touch because it is free with it. I'm talking about Robo Recall. A game where you shoot and smash angry robots. You can even rip them apart, which is really satisfying. The game has amazing shooting mechanics, immersive gameplay, and it is just so very satisfying to use the guns in this game as well. It is a wave shooter however, and I know a lot of people dislike those, but still, this game is epic. This upcoming game is LA Noire, another great title released by Rockstar Games, and they are the developers of Grand Theft Auto. They ported LA Noire to VR and it is fun. In LA Noire, you are a detective solving the most brutal crimes in the 1940s of Los Angeles. The crimes in this game are actually based on real cases. This is a little scary, but also makes the game more cool. This game has some really nice graphics and talking to NPCs feel very realistic. Especially the mouth movements in this game is well done. Be aware though that this game is not the full LA Noire game. It contains 7 case files reimagined for VR. So guys, ever had a very stressful day at work and no outlet for you to relieve that stress? Well, with GORN you do. GORN is a must-have in VR because it has one of the best and fun fighting mechanics that we have ever seen in a VR game. Be aware though that this game is very gory, very bloody, and also known for smashing and breaking furniture. Like that 4K television that you just bought. The game is done so well that even a VR professional easily forgets about the safety grid. So be careful and make sure that you have the space. So this awesome app has become a huge hype now and has always hundreds of players online. VR Chat is a one-of-a-kind social VR app that gives you the ability to create your own full-body avatars and worlds with their own Unity SDK. It might sound boring, however, when you log in you just never know what's going to happen. Encounter anime characters or roleplay on yourself, explore hundreds of worlds created by the community or just chat. And the best of all, the game is free, and if you haven't tried it yet, you must! As a kid, I used to watch Star Trek with my father, so when Ubisoft announced that they were going to release a VR game where you can control your own Star Trek spaceship, I was definitely stoked! In Star Trek Bridge Crew, you get to fill in one of the bridge crew's roles. become the helm, tactical, engineer, or command the crew as the captain. In this game you control a spaceship and travel the Star Trek universe while doing a randomized mission with your own custom character. The game is also played entirely seated, which is great if you like to relax a little. However, you are not able to teleport outside a ship and visit a planet. That would have been awesome. Still, the game is so fun to play with others, especially if you are a Star Trek fan.
And after Star Trek Bridge Crew came From Other Suns, which is very similar to STBC actually, except that you can walk around, you can teleport to other ships, to other planets, and even fight space pirates. In From Other Suns, you and your crew were tasked to test an experimental folding drive to travel beyond the fringes of explored space. You have to return safely for a big payout and you are planning to retire. However, things didn't work out as planned and you were followed. Now it's a race against the clock to see who is able to get back to Earth first. On your way, you will encounter many obstacles to overcome, and if your ship explodes, you will have to start over again, which can be challenging. However, the game has a system that makes each run different from another, keeping the game's replayability high. This game is highly recommended to play with others too.
Now, for this title, you might think, what the heck, why the hell is this in your list? So Cas and I played this game and we really enjoyed it, and that's why we put it in the list, and it's just really different and also really cute as well. We are talking about the cutest Dungeoncrawler in VR ever, Marshmallow Melee, where you can control the toy-sized warriors as a god from a bird's eye view. The game has 70 playsets levels, which you get randomly. You have hats that you can give your marshmallows, which activate certain powers. After you die, you have to start over again. It's up to your skills whether or not you will reach the final boss. Sometimes you're lucky and get easier levels first, sometimes you're unlucky and you get a challenge straight away. Nevertheless, the game is addicting and has a high replay value. Definitely a recommendation if you're looking for a different kind of game that you can play seated as well. Just don't get attached to your marshmallows, believe me, it will happen and you'll be sad when they die. So this is a game we have always been excited about, and ever since we saw it on Kickstarter. And actually it's the first Kickstarter Cas and I have ever backed as well. Oculus VR is one of the first fully realized MMORPGs designed especially for VR. It has an open world with dozens of hours of quests, following a story, interesting lore and characters. You have crafting, grouped dungeons and world bosses as well. Oculus VR is a game made by a small team, but has a big fan base. We are fans too, as this is the first game that we could spend more than 6 hours straight without rest, drink or food. Which is crazy, tiring to do in VR, as our legs were hurting like hell afterwards. Or maybe we are just
Now this last title is definitely a title that you should not miss, especially if you like horror. Resident Evil 7 for the PSVR is amazing because this title is made especially for VR. It is what you are used to from Resident Evil. You have a storyline, scary zombies and of course the jump scares. Except you don't play in third person, no, you see the game through your own eyes in first person view. Now, the graphics might be compromised from what you are used to on the PS4, however when you are playing it in VR, it definitely doesn't make it less scary. So this title is very cool because it is kind of like a tilt brush except for 3D creation. And you can also use this app with multiple people and create co-op. Masterpiece VR is a recommendation, especially if you are creative and like 3D creation. You can invite a coworker or a friend over in your room in VR and you can even create stuff together. It is very cool to be able to be in VR creating with other people. Just make sure you don't invite someone that is just going to f up your creations. If you want to see what it is like, check out our past live stream on Masterpiece VR in the description below. Another highly anticipated title that we both have played a lot, Skyrim VR. Skyrim VR is the full Skyrim game ported to PSVR. It is crazy immersive and fun to be exploring Tamriel like you are there. Sometimes the flat menus can be distracting, but this game is immersive and fun. You will likely be spending hours and hours on this game, just doing everything except the main quest. Yep. Now here's another title that we have enjoyed a lot together. That Effect 2 VR is an action sci-fi shooter with a rich narrative. awesome looting system and RPG elements that makes the game very addictive to play. The game is gory though, just very bloody, and well, there are zombies everywhere. But the best thing about this title, you can play it with friends in co-op. That definitely makes this game less scary if you are a horror baby like us. So hope you guys enjoyed our list, and I also have a question for you guys. Well, are there any games not in our list that you really enjoyed in 2017? Please let us know in the comments below.
And as always, if you want to explore the world of virtual reality with us, like, comment and subscribe. And we have
Cas here.
And I'm Chary. And we say VR on.